Hi guys, Sanjana here. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing really well. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I do a lot of study, career and finance related videos here on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please do hit that subscribe button down below. Now, as you can tell by the title of today's video, I wanted to just go through some Q&A questions that I couldn't actually answer from my Instagram. So a lot of you guys may know that I have an Instagram page as well, Success by Sanjana. If you don't follow me on there, then be sure to follow me on there. I will leave all the information in the description box. But I do a weekly Q&A session there on my Instagram. It's where I ask you guys to send through questions, anything about study, career or finance, and or personal development as well, side hustles, etc. So I've been answering that for the last 6-7 weeks now. So if you want to check those Q&As out, then I do have them linked in my highlights on my Instagram. So be sure to check them out. But what I'm going to do today is just answer all of the questions which I haven't had a chance to answer on the Instagram page. So I'm going to go through, obviously not all of them. I'm going to go through some questions which I think are important, and I really want to go through them and answer them for you guys here as well on my YouTube. So if you are interested, then please keep watching. Now, in no particular order, I've just got the questions here on my phone. So I'm just going to pop them up. I've already actually screenshotted the questions that I want to be answering. Now, the first question that I'm going to answer is, does GPA matter while getting into the Big Four? Now, this one for me, I think is a big one because honestly, I wasn't the most studious person at uni. I've done a lot of videos on this on my channel as well, where I talk about how I was such an average sort of, grade student. I didn't go above and beyond. I didn't get those distinctions, high distinctions. It was pretty much a pass and credit average. So for me, I think it was very important that I do extracurriculars, I get into the workforce, I get that experience under my belt. So I think I did sort of prioritize that more than my studies. And for that reason, my GPA wasn't as good as I would have liked it to be. So nonetheless, I still applied for the Big Four. I applied for KPMG, as you guys all know, and I actually got through. So they did actually question me around my GPA and my scores and everything, but I really just pitched it to them and let them know that I was focusing on, getting those extracurricular skills, work experience, communication, and the fact that the job that I was doing at the time as well was within the banking industry. I just felt, given I was going to KPMG, I was within the risk consulting division and I was applying for a job within the financial services division. I felt that they sort of agreed that, if I was, putting my time and more effort into work for something that was somewhat related to my degree and the position that I was going for at KPMG, I feel like they sort of let that, go through, and they seem to be really happy with that. I think it also comes down to obviously interviewing well as well. In terms of applying for KPMG, I can say that GPA did not matter for me. I was a very, very average student. I would even say I'm a pass grade student, and I had no issues with that. They did ask a few questions, but that was about it. As long as you can back yourself and provide the right answers and prove to them that you're still worthy of the position, I think that matters more. And to be honest, in this day and age, I feel like work experience matters more than the actual degree itself and the theoretical knowledge. I feel practical knowledge is far more important these days. So in terms of that, no, my GPA did not matter while I was getting into the Big Four. So yeah. Next question is, what gadget do you use for reading and how do I get it? So I'm trying to do a little bit more reading on the side. I'm still struggling because honestly, I don't have much time. After work, I do work a 9-to-5 job. So after work, I'm basically just shooting videos like I am today. Just finished off work, got myself ready, and I'm starting to obviously film this video. And then after this, I've got to edit this and put it straight up on the day that I shoot this. So as you can tell, I don't really have much time, and I really want to sort of change this up and make sure that I am able to read a little bit more. But when I do get the chance to read, I do read on my Kindle, which I bought on Amazon. I will leave the link down below, but it's such a great Kindle. I think it's better than holding the book. I know a lot of people like holding the book, but I feel in terms of like practicality, if you're in bed as well, like just holding a big clunky book isn't the best for me. And it's also really good because it's portable. You can take it, anywhere with you. You can fit in your bag. It's a very slim device. device. So I think having a Kindle is really, really good. You can also, highlight notes, you can print them out, you can search for words if you're not sure what the words actually mean in the text. So I think this is really good, and yeah, you can adjust it to your reading preference, the text, the colors, all of that good stuff. So yeah, I use a Kindle for reading. Next question is, what type of job would you recommend for a high school student? Now, I think this obviously depends, what field you're in, what you're studying, where your interests actually lie. Now, if you were like me and you studied a commerce degree, I majored in economics and commercial law, and my aim was to pretty much get into banking. First, obviously, go through the big four, get that risk consulting experience, and then obviously, make my way ahead. So in terms of me, I tried to sort of stick to jobs that were in the financial services sector because I felt like that was very much applicable, it was relevant, and I could, use some of those concepts that I did learn at work, just basic concepts like, everyday banking, what's happening in, with interest rates, etc. I feel like having that general knowledge is very important, especially if you are going to be working within the financial services sector. I think it's very important to know a little bit of background knowledge, general knowledge around that field. So anything that you feel like you are sort of, applying for, any jobs in the future, graduate positions, then I think you should get a job or an entry-level job within that field. So yeah, if you're looking into finance, accounting, then get yourself a job at a call center. I know it's not the most glamorous job out there, but you definitely learn a lot. And if you're in Australia, a lot of call center jobs are open for the big four banks, casual jobs, because you are still a uni student. So I think that's very important, trying to get experience within a field that you're later going to be working in as well. And then this experience can obviously act as, you can leverage this experience to land that other job as well. So just reading this question back again, this is for high school students, my bad. So what I answered was for uni students. If you are a high school student, then obviously I feel like you are able to get a job within any sector. That could be retail, hospitality, really just, get into the workforce regardless of whatever it is, just to get that experience, learn how to, make money, understand the value of money, learn those communication skills, team building skills, and just, going for interviews, writing up a resume. All of those skills are very important. And I feel like if you're still in high school, then it doesn't really matter what kind of job you do get, because it is still quite early on to land a job within, maybe like a banking job or whatever. But there's no harm in trying as well. But I feel like, if you're in uni and you find something that aligns with your goals and your degree and your values and everything, then obviously you can target and find a job that's more suited to that. But if you're in high school, then yeah, I feel like, just working at Macca's, retail stores, department stores, I think is a very good way to gain experience as well. Next question is, how do you manage your daily plus ad hoc tasks now that you're working from home? Now, to be honest, I've got more time than ever to be able to, complete all of my daily tasks and ad hoc tasks, because I'm obviously working from home. I've got time before work, got time during my lunch break, during work hours as well, because my job is quite flexible. I don't need to, clock in straight 9 to 5. I am able to work flexibly. So that's a really good thing about my workplace. So as long as I get the hours done and the work done, then I feel like they don't have any issues with that. So I am able to focus more on my ad hoc tasks, like, doing the washing. I've literally got my clothes hanging right there. Making my bed, doing the chores around the house, admin, life admin does creep up on you. So I am able to do all of that stuff, which is really good. But that also means that, with all this extra free time, then I am trying to push through, YouTube videos as well, and, Instagram content as well. So yeah, there's definitely a lot on my plate at the moment, and I'm trying to manage, my time as best as I can. And I really just want to be, auditing myself. So yeah, definitely want to do that and just sort of figure out what am I doing, hour by hour, and, figure out where I can maximize my time and get the most sort of return with my time. So in terms of managing my tasks, I use a calendar. I use Google Calendar to make sure I've got everything written on there. These are like important dates and things that I need to do, but I do also have a daily to-do list, which I prepare the night before or early that morning as well, just so that I am aware of the tasks that need to be done in that day. And next to that to-do list, I do also allocate a time as well as to how much I predict that task is going to take for me to complete, just so that I don't, overdo my to-do list and, becomes overwhelming and I can't actually achieve all of those things on my list for that day. So I think this is very important, having a to-do list, and I like writing it down in a book. I know a lot of people have, things on their phone. I just feel like I get so distracted. And I do have a to-do list on my phone, but that's like a bigger, broader to-do list about, YouTube videos, etc., which is synced up to my phone and my computer. But I do have notes as well on my phone, which I do jot down anything when I don't have a piece of paper and I'm out and about, and then I would come home and then, obviously put it on my to-do list, which is handwritten. So yeah, that's how I sort of, try to manage my time. Next question is, currently working for Deloitte in a tendering team, how to switch into consulting. Now, I think this is a lot easier than you think. So given that you're already at Deloitte at the moment, it's a big four accounting / consultancy firm. It's obviously easier than, firms that don't have consulting within their division or within their firm. So the fact that Deloitte is such a major, reputable organization, they have a consultancy branch or consultancy arm, which is awesome. So it does make the transition a little bit easier. So basically what you would do is, I would suggest, reaching out to someone within the consulting division, a team that you're interested in, and try to set up a meeting, set up an email, a coffee catch up, just to sort of understand and talk to maybe the partner or director as to what the job actually entails, because you'll be surprised. You may think it's something, super glamorous, but when you actually, get into the role, it may not be. So I think getting that initial perspective is very important, and figuring out, whether this is the right job for you. So I think having that initial consult with anyone that's a senior or even a junior as well, because they can give you like the detailed, nitty-gritty details that you're maybe after. So I think have that done. And then I think it's very important to also have a shadowing session as well. I think this is very, very crucial, because you want to actually see what work is being done. You want to see what's involved. You want to see, what does the work actually entail on a day-to-day basis. So I think shadowing someone for a few days is a very good idea to actually see what the work is like. And then once you're happy with that, I think it's time to then, identify and speak to the managers as to whether there's a position available in that team. And once you've got the thumbs up from that end, it's definitely time to let your personal and your current manager know that you are, seeking new opportunities. I think it's very important to keep your manager transparent with everything that's going on. You don't want it to sort of, bite you at the end when, if something doesn't work out. You want them to be able to support you, push your name forward, and obviously be that referee as well. So yeah, I think speaking to your manager first of all is obviously very important, because they can help and provide you with, what the next steps look like in terms of transitioning, and in terms of actually finding the job. You can look at the internal portals. I know all the firms have their own internal, intranet pages, so be sure to check those out. But yeah, I think it's very important to just be very proactive with this process, speak to the right people, and definitely keep everyone in the loop, because you don't want this to be a secret sort of mission that you're doing. So yeah. Now, I've received a lot of questions around how to stand out with your resume or cover letter or interview process as well. I've received so many questions about how to write the perfect resume. I've also received a lot of questions about people asking me to review their resume as well, and provide feedback and tips on how they can better improve their resume writing skills. I'm not going to be answering that today, but I do want to let you know that there is something that is in the works at the moment that I do want to share with you, potentially in the new year, which I think will be very beneficial to you guys and provide you with a lot of value. So I'm still working on that project at the moment, and I've got 3.5 weeks at the end of the year. I've got only like a week working days left, so it'll be like heads down, bums up for me at the end of the year, when I do have that time off to launch what I want to launch. So in terms of that, all I can say is there will be a service out there for you guys that I can assist. But for now, in terms of resume, there's a lot of online tips and tricks out there, so be sure to utilize that information. But if you do want targeted assistance, if you are applying for a Big Four role, then I think, just waiting for that service, because it will be announced very, very shortly. I think stay tuned for that, because that will be very, very valuable, I feel, for you guys. Next question, how to get your foot in the door if you're struggling to find a job as a post-grad job. Now, This is very common. I mean, there's a lot of people who, finish their degrees and, expect to have a graduate position, but given, how competitive it is, and, some things don't work out in terms of timing or the requirements, criteria, etc. A lot of people do miss out on, getting that first job. I think what you can do is obviously, try not to feel demotivated by that, because there's a lot of people applying and there's not enough jobs available for graduate positions, but don't feel disheartened. I feel like you need to just keep going, keep applying, and it doesn't have to just be a graduate position. You can apply at, a bank as well, or if not that, you can just apply as a lateral hire as well. I mean, there's no strict guidelines that you need to, definitely apply for a graduate role. There's a lot of people that do work their way up, starting from junior roles, and if you can excel at that, then your chances of making more money more quicker is obviously very, very likely. So don't get disheartened. I think just keep applying, and you may need to take up some internships or jobs that are lower paying, but this will be good to get some experience on your resume, and some actual communication skills, analytical skills, etc. So don't feel disheartened. I think you just need to keep going, keep trying, keep pushing, because if you stop, then you're definitely not going to get anywhere. So keep pushing, keep trying, and apply for jobs that aren't necessarily grad jobs. Look into government organizations, look at startups as well. I think this is a great way to get your foot in the door as well. Next question: how to decide between two good job opportunities? Now, this is a very good question. I think this is obviously very different for each person, and I think it depends on each person's values and goals in life, and your current situation. So I think you would be the best person to assess what is right and what isn't right for you. What I do suggest is maybe writing down the pros and the cons of each of the jobs, and then seeing which job has more pros associated with it, because at the end of the day, only you know what situation you're in and what's best for you. So I think doing a little bit of a risk assessment, writing down the pros, really sort of figuring out in terms of the pay, the career opportunities, the work culture, team, future prospects, etc. I think is all something that you do need to consider. Yeah, I think doing that little exercise for yourself would be very beneficial. And next question is, do you read self-help books? Now, this is similar to the first or the second question that I've answered. I do. Any book that I do read is definitely a self-help book. I don't read any sort of fantasy or fiction books at all. I only like reading non-fiction. So yeah, I try to sort of, with any of the books that I do read, I do want to receive some value from them. I do want to learn and educate myself, and have some learnings come out of that so that I can better myself. A lot of the self-help books that I really recommend, I mean, Gary Vee is amazing at motivating and really, pushing you and, getting that drive back up again. What I'll do, I'll leave a few options in the description box below for a few self-help books which I do recommend, so be sure to check out the description box below. Now, those are all the questions that I will be answering for you guys today. I feel like this video has already gone on for pretty long, about 20-22 minutes. So those are all the questions that I'll be answering. Now, if I've missed your question, or you've got another question that I didn't answer in today's video, then be sure to send me an email to successbysanjna@gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on there. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, then be sure to do that. All of that information is in the description box. But other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.